Here I want to be talking about profit margins, and I'm going back now over 30 years when I was a young man with the largest chain of motorcycle shops in London, and fortuitously for me, an astute old Irishman by the name of Seamus O'Rourke took me under his wing and trained me up in the practices of business. And one day Seamus said to me, "Ron, I've been thinking very, very hard. At the moment you sell a lot of new motorcycles and the profit margin in those new motorcycles is 17%. And he says, with the 7 shops we've got, the massive overheads, 17% profit margin is very, very difficult to run a business and make things happen and have enough money there to pay all the overheads." He says, what I'm suggesting is we really and truly phase out as many of the new motorcycles we can and start really focusing on selling second-hand motorcycles where the profit margin is not 17% but 117%. The minute we started doing that, our profits started to go through the roof and we started to breathe freer. The money started to flood in, much easier to get stock second-hand motorcycles, much more profit margin. Things started to be very, very exciting. Huge difference between 17% profit margin and 117% profit margin. One day, Seamus, my mentor at the time, he said to me, "Ron," he says, "I've been thinking," he said, 117% profit margin is fantastic, but he says if we really want to fly, he says we've got to focus on something that's going to make a lot more money. And he says, I've noticed every time we get an old motorcycle in and break it up to spares and sell all the components individually, the frame, the engine, the exhaust pipes, the wheels, the gearbox, everything sold off separately, he says not only we don't make 117% profit, we make 1,017% profit. And that is a huge, huge difference. And that little thought of his ended up in us owning the largest motorcycle breakers in the country. It's a wrecker's yard. We used to get the machines in from nothing, from the police, from the scrap metal dealers, all sorts of places, dragging them out of ditches, motorcycles for free, scrap metal, motorcycles for free, breaking them up, taking them apart and selling all the components. So I've shown you there a dramatic illustration. 17%, 117%, 1,017%. That's how I made my first fortune. The reason why I'm telling you this story is my new book is coming out. That book, where I mentioned all those things, Debt Free with Financial Kung Fu, was 1977. Now we're in 2009. My new book in September, the Eureka Enigma, is just about to come out. I just want to give you a bit of flavour and background about where I'm coming from on this whole money-making thing and helping people become successful in their lives. You can get the Eureka Enigma right now on eureka-enigma.com, and I think you'll see that sign on this screen right now. That's where you can get this book right now, although it's not launched until September. Hope to see you soon.